On January 13, 2006, a local pizza shop in Acassuso, Argentina, received an unusually large order for pizzas from the local police. The pizza manager picks up the call and asks the police what type of pizza he'd like to order. The officer simply replies, "Just 20 large pizzas and make it fast." The pizza manager feels confused but unfazed, yells the order back to the kitchen, assuming someone's probably throwing a party. But this pizza order is not for the police. It's for the 6 men who are about to steal $20 million from Banco-Rio, a bank they have taken control of in the San Isidro area of Buenos Aires. And the police? Well, they're just the delivery men. So how did a group of 6 people steal $20 million, and how did pizzas help them escape without a trace? A couple of years before the heist, a man named Fernando Araujo meets his friend Sebastian Garcia Bolster at a local bar. They discuss previous robberies in their country and how the perpetrators botched the whole mission due to some naive mistake. Bolster laughs at Araujo's analysis, unaware that Araujo was actually very serious and motivated to plan and execute something similar. After spending a few hours in the bar, both head back to their respective homes. At home, Fernando Araujo starts watching movies and documentaries on bank heists and begins making notes about how to plan the perfect heist. However, Araujo soon realizes that he'll need help from people with specific skills to execute the plan effectively. A few months into the planning, Araujo finally sets his target on a local bank called Banco-Rio in an affluent area of San Isidro. Most of the wealthy people in the neighborhood stored their valuables in Banco-Rio, including cash, jewelry, and other items. But after surveying the bank for a while, Araujo hits his first roadblock. He didn't know what the bank looked like from the inside, how the vault was designed, or how strong the security was. And to solve this, he needed a blueprint. He soon gets in touch with a contact who provides him with blueprints of not only the bank, but also the entire underground drainage system of the town in exchange for some cash. Araujo had essentially hit the jackpot. He discovered that according to the town planning blueprint, a large sewer drain ran right under Banco-Rio and opened a few hundred meters away from the bank into a river. He also realized he'd need very specific tools to dig a tunnel from the drain pipe up to the bank's basement, a way to escape through the sewer quickly, and a plan to vanish without a trace. And he knew exactly who to recruit for this crazy idea. Araujo determines that his friend Sebastian Garcia Bolster, a clean, white-collared family man, would be perfect for the job. It's because Bolster ran a small tool shop, mostly working on small engines and tinkering with power tools, making him quite skilled at building custom mechanics and drilling tools. Araujo immediately gets in touch with Bolster and explains his master plan. After some back and forth, Bolster agrees to join. Now, there are certain reasons why Bolster agreed to join Fernando's crazy idea. During 2006, Argentina was still recovering from a severe economic collapse of 2001 and 2002. Not only that, the Argentina peso lost almost 70 to 80% value against the dollar. Moreover, most banks froze people's personal accounts and put hard limits on withdrawal. And as a consequence, people lost a lot of money that they kept with the banks. This led to a massive wave of distrust in people for Argentina's banking system. And Bolster was no different. He had the same grudges with the bank as many other people did. Now, even after agreeing to Fernando's plan, both soon realized they'd need more people and more tools to pull this off successfully. In the following days, Araujo and Bolster recruit 4 more people and a financier who'd pay for all the tools they'd need to buy and modify for the heist. The crew get themselves some masks, clothes, rubber inflatable boats, a getaway van, and a few other items they'd use on the day of the heist. As part of the plan, Bolster opened a new bank account with a vault locker facility in another branch of the same bank so he could study the make and model of the vault boxes and practice picking the locks in his tool shop. He also visited the drainage pipes regularly to dig a diagonal tunnel that would eventually reach the basement in time for the heist. On January 13, 2006, all 6 members meet up at a local bar before splitting off to their planned positions. Sebastian Bolster heads straight to the tunnel where he had already dug through to the bank's vault. Fernando Araujo picks up a decoy car to trick the cops into believing it's the robber's vehicle. Luis Mario Vitet, Alberto Beto de la Torre, and Marcelo Rey Mendoza head straight to the bank. Meanwhile, Julien Zelio Severia parks the modified getaway van over a manhole cover in the middle of the road, pretending it's a breakdown. Around 12:38 p.m., Vitet, Beto, and Mendoza walk through the main doors of the bank, announcing this is a robbery and order everyone to get down. Araujo was already inside the bank, disguised as a customer with a blonde wig. At around 12:50 p.m., the police and other law enforcement agencies arrive at the bank, having received a silent alarm. Shortly after, Beto heads down to the basement, where Sebastian Bolster was waiting in the tunnel he had been digging for months. Beto breaks through the vault wall with a hammer and pulls Bolster in. Both Bolster and Beto begin cracking the vault lockers one by one, but they quickly realize it's taking them far longer than expected to open the locks. They're essentially running out of time. Meanwhile, on the main floor, Vitet takes on a pseudonym, Walter, and calls the police. He even goes to the main door to prove that he's the one talking to the authorities. The police spot him and designate him as the man in the gray suit. Walter claims he's ready to negotiate and hints that the robbery has failed and they'll probably surrender. Meanwhile, Beto and Bolster are desperately trying to open as many vaults as possible. This is when one of the masterstrokes of their plan comes into play. Walter asks the police if they can order pizzas before surrendering to end the day peacefully. Unbeknownst to the authorities, the pizzas were not for the robbers because they were hungry or tired. Instead, Walter ordered them to buy extra time and made the police falsely believe these are a bunch of loonies looking for a payday. You see, during the planning, they calculated that it takes around 15 to 20 minutes to prepare one large pizza, and an order of 20 pizzas would roughly buy them extra 2 to 3 hours, and that's exactly what they did. The police called the local pizza shop to order 20 pizzas, asking them to prepare them as quickly as possible. The pizza shop sprang into action. With this clever diversion, the crew carefully opened more vaults, filling their bags with as much loot as they could carry. At around 4 p.m., the robbers start heading to the basement. All 6 members of the heist pick up their bags and enter the tunnel, heading down to the sewer drainage system. Here, Sebastian Bolster had already docked inflatable boats. The crew quickly hops into the boat and rows down the drainage system for a few hundred feet upstream, exactly where Julien waits for them near a manhole cover. The crew abandons the boat and climbs into the van, which had a cutout hole in the bottom. By 5 p.m., all 6 members escaped with $20 million worth of cash, gold, and jewelry, leaving behind a note for the police which roughly translates to, Now, this twist to the story is quite hilarious. You see, Alberto Beto had a little troubled relationship with his wife. She always used to complain that he made her feel kind of lonely and she was losing hope keeping their relationship afloat. And one day, she was proven right. A few months after the heist, Alberto Beto is caught red-handed by his wife, who discovers he's been cheating on her. Heartbroken and furious, she goes straight to the police and tells them everything about the heist and how her husband, along with 5 others, robbed the bank. The police immediately swing into action, searches Beto's house, and finds a stash of money and jewelry. Beto is immediately arrested, and one by one, every member of the heist is tracked down and captured. It took them several months of planning to make $20 million and just one heartbroken wife to bring them all down. And everyone received the jail time they rightfully deserved.